Viewer contributions make local programming possible on WNIN. Become a member of WNIN with your contribution so we can continue to make this programming available. Visit WNIN.org and click on the donate button.
So this is really cool because it feels like I'm at a wedding reception and I'm looking out at all my family and friends. So it's such an honor to be here. What Kate and I want to talk to you about is really not about Granted. It's not about us. This is about everybody in the room. This is our celebration. Okay, this is not a grand celebration. This is a celebration for our community. And Kate and I and the rest of the people at Granted, we know and believe that we live in the most generous community on planet Earth. Not even a question. So it's been 2 years since we were in this room. A lot of you were here for that meeting 2 years ago in September of 2023, where we publicly announced the Granted House of Book project. And we're so thankful to Rotary for having us back to promote this, to celebrate, and hopefully to inspire our community. So our goal today is, like I said, celebrate. We're going to share our story of how this dream happened and hopefully inspire some people in the room to maybe do something similar, personally, professionally, through your nonprofit. That's kind of our goal today. So Katie's going to tell us a little bit about Granted and the Granted mission.
Hello everyone, thank you for letting us join you today. We're very honored to be here and also to be heck of support for the years, the multiple project and goals in the community. For those that are not still in Granted, Granted is a local nonprofit to great visions to children with migraine on. Through our history, we're actually celebrating the 40th anniversary of the spiritual year. I started as two individuals, called the Waffles and Carolyn Hoffman. In the original families of Grayson, they saw that the community need, they should build that need this road. There was a young fellow, J.D. Petty, who had an uncontrolled work, and her wish was to speak in English with Disney. So following year, we got together, they raised the funds, and their goal eventually was to donate those funds and remaining private wish to another organization, but they saw what the need was, how much I didn't have in changing her family's life. They decided to keep that local start being just a commercial annoyed. So through that process, they just grown and started to show stars and using their value with that. And then later they did grace. Instead of for grace, they did not have the great vision. We also see the need past the wish. Children love the wish and have that, but the are still struggling, children are passing away. Granted wants to be that support base that helps the family through the difficult time as well as having coaching organizations for the children. So it's not only Grant's vision, but we can have beyond the vision program. So we have families with gift cards, more varieties, there's treatment. We have full Christmases. We had 44 Christmases last year. They added donating to a few volunteers, adopted people in donate. And then we have dinners, we do a lot of things throughout the year, parties, just wasting at the list of all, so that much the support, bring into the all support, the wish to be nice. This all happened in a hospital without a single doctor. She is our executive collector. She looked good in English as well. She, 2 years ago, came also granted a basically stabilization of systematic care. Susan is a triple part, and many of you had a recovery for negative care. She is just like her soul reading. And so we're very lucky to have her in the local community. Each year we do have solutions being brands as well as the region government shares in the show our pain, the impact of the community. Our board and our staff are integral to the success of Granted. We have a interesting board. That board is incredibly functioning board. For EMR, those the greatest board and staff here. But those 20 individuals give up not only volunteer time, but campus volunteer as well. So Randy said, when I'm a family organization, not only for the family to serve, but for the family that the service here as well. And being a 4-person staff. If I can come over and work to move the staff, take it down just for a quick second. After this is finished, if you have any questions, please feel free to find any of these individuals so they can help you answer questions.
Thank you. And when Susan took over 10 years ago, Brandon had $2,000 in the bank. And one of the things that she did was to build a strong board. So that strong board and that strong staff is what saved the organization. We should.
And through any organization, we have to set vision. And we are very thankful for both having two different strategic plans to create it, as well as we started to have a whole project. It's a huge undertaking. And we know many on the board and many staff have worked with projects with community. This is something totally different than anything that I've ever worked on. So we enlisted TAC to help us guide us inside that we want to for this project. And he is an integral supporter granted through the strategic planning process. Thanks to him.
Yeah, Tad, sitting right here, has been instrumental, and I'll never forget it. It was January 2022. We were in the Wellborn Conference Room talking about what does Grant want to be, where are we going to be, and we all galvanized around Grant will be in a position where we will never have to turn away a wish in this area. That was a really galvanizing moment. We wanted to meet every wish. So Tad, we appreciate that.
And fair granted, we do serve children that in your mile radius, ages 3 to 18. And through the project granted, through that help us with the fourth and TAG throughout this community, we've actually established a rich families program as well. So even though they actually are privileged, we still support those families until they get to a rich age.
So one of the things we did with TAG was we came up with 5 annual initiatives that we want to achieve over 5 years. And the 5th one was kind of a really big wish. We didn't think it was going to happen. It was the 5th and final initiative with TAG. And it was that Grant was going to explore a new facility so we could really grow our mission. And so Susan and I were tasked with that. We're tasked with that initiative. And the first thing we did was we have to go out to the community. We can't take this on without going to the community. First place we went to was Greg Kisses. Probably get Greg's here today. So Greg, we just took him our ideas and hey, here's what a house of hope could look like. We talked to the wish families. What would you want if we had a house of hope? And the wish families poured their ideas into it. And that was very exciting. But the really powerful moment was when the University of Evansville Civil Engineering Department said, yes, we will take on this project. We will design that for you. And that's when we were like, wow, this project may happen. So that was a really galvanizing moment when U of E stepped up and offered to design the project. And as first walk dealer, Brian Leatherliver, you have Brian. There we go. So we had an incredible team that helped the University of Evansville students. We had Paper, we had Lock Dealer, we had LA&D, we had Home Design Group, we had Cash Writer, and they really rallied around the students and got that design complete. So we could not be where we are today if it wasn't for those team of engineers and consultants. So then we had a really cool floor plan, but it wasn't very magical. So then we kind of turned to some really creative people in the community. We reached out to Chris Jackson and Bailey and Rochelle with Living Expressions, and they really put some inspiration in how we were going to turn this into a magical space. So we kind of took some creative people, and then they just put magic in this drawing. So we knew we needed vision, we needed something that's going to move people emotionally. So then we took these ideas that our creative team had and took it to Hafer. I don't know if everybody's here from Hafer, Rachel Hafer from Hafer. But Hafer created what we call the $3 million video. So Hafer took all these ideas and created a tour where you could tour House of Hope. And once we showed people the video that whole collective team put together, that's what moved this community to do what all of you were doing. So we were so indebted to Hafer for turning that magic into a story. Also, Rachel Loma, the incredible creative person, helped us put together an incredible brochure with a lot of the Hafer images. So with that video and this brochure, we were moving people's hearts and moving the people in this room. So we're so glad and thankful to them. We also wanted to tie into our mission, so we definitely took one of our wish children, Lexi, who passed away. She was a straight-A valedictorian student at Boonville. Her family is with us today. We're so honored to have Lexi's family. She showed so much courage, and she inspired all of us, and so she was the wish child. We really wanted to be the beacon for this project. So we told Lexi's story hundreds of times, and we're so thankful to her family for allowing us to do that and for the courage that Lexi and her family have shown. So then, okay, we got this great video, we got a brochure. now what are we going to do? So we put together a really strong team for the community. A lot of them are in this room today, a fundraising team. What we're looking for is people who believe the Grand Mission, people who are passionate, and people who would do what they said they would do. And we put together an incredible team. It started with me asking Roy Jorgensen if he would be the co-chair. And we went to lunch at the old Chasers. It's not Chasers anymore, as we know. And we were just asking Roy to be my fundraising co-chair. And we left that meeting with a big 6-figure check. So now all of a sudden, now we have a design, we have a video, and now we've got some money, and that was very exciting. So then we put together this fundraising team. If you want the fundraising team, throw your hand up in the air if you can help with that. Thank you for that group. Look more excited when you do that, Terry. So this is an incredible group of people. They just set up hundreds of meetings for us, and we're just so thankful to them. Little secret, we knew that if we got you in a meeting at the greater office, it was over. And so that was Susan and I's little secret. So if you had a meeting at the greater office, you were part of that. But we knew once people stepped into the greater office, they weren't going to tell us no. And guess what? Of the hundreds of meetings we had at the greater office, not a single person, not a single company told us no, which is incredible for our community. So let's talk about some God moments. This has certainly been a project that God has had his hand on. And Susan and Katie and I have talked about this so many times. When there was a need and we didn't know how it was going to be met, we just said, God's got this. And the board would pray about it, and within hours or days or weeks, that need would be met. The biggest concern was always the property. Where are we going to find property that's going to be perfect, that's going to be safe? And we worried about it for a long time until we kept seeing these God moments. And at a certain point, we're like, it's going to happen. We just stopped worrying about it. And then Briar Point Development stepped up and gifted us almost 15 acres. It's an absolute beautiful site. Many of you have been there. So that was certainly a God moment when that property was given to us. Another God moment, and maybe the happiest day of my life, was when John Members at a CEMA meeting at the casino agreed to manage the construction so that I didn't have to manage the construction. And so that was the happiest day of my life right there on the left. He had a few beers. Bill made sure he was getting toasted, and we got him to say yes. But the Elbers family has been just absolutely amazing leading this project. They're one of the premier home builders on planet Earth, and we're so grateful to them. We're also very thankful to this group right here, Bowen Engineering. Bowen has been part of Brandon's success for a long time. We had 3 summer interns that worked probably the majority of their time helping out builders, and so we're so grateful to the Bowen team.
In the next few slides, you're going to see some of our locations within the house that will have the right opportunities, and we're so thankful for all the companies and organizations that said yes when asked to donate those. So we can just wish celebration area is where I'm going to look and celebrate the wish.
Also want to thanks to the Tarpenters Union back there. Not only did they write a substantial check to us, but they framed our family pavilion as a donation. They also hung drywall with a couple local companies. And Marvin Byer, who looks like he should be giving this presentation in his suit back there, has just been on a Granite super volunteer. So we're so thankful to the Carpenters.
And just be able to prove that they can. Our big grants, this is by Letters and Associates, which is, you did the suggest I am on the good work and work for a lot. They just phenomenally works. Thank you for helping me with the playground response from that.
We also want to say thank you to the Cook Foundation. The Cook Foundation supports all of our events, our golf, our Over the Edge, and they stepped up in a really big way to be the sponsor of our Beyond the Wish program. So thank you to the Cook family.
And essentially, I think that's some of the education center. This will help with a lot of our education for different opportunities for both parents and the children, learning different skills, financial planning, various programs that we have that we're working on. This will be just be a fantastic space for them.
We also want to thank you to Banterra Bank. Chris Rutledge is out there somewhere, and Banterra and Chris Rutledge and his team have been phenomenal. And they are the sponsor of our children's grass and play area.
Center Point Energy for the counseling center. Will grants local therapists that could come in and call on the therapy and different health opportunities. Center Point has been a huge sponsor of us for various projects, especially growing the Evansville issues they're building. You're going to get into that. So thank you to Center Point for this goal support project here.
We also want to say thank you to the West Side Met Club, Brandon and Glitch, I think might be here. Brandon was instrumental getting us from the West Side Met Club, and they are our welcome insurance sponsor, the House of Motor.
Separation by design, to go to shop, bring each one of the children and the pass away will have a better flying, just so their memory can live on throughout the House of Motor project and grow project.
We also want to say thank you to the IBEW local electricians and Mika and Ron Weisler, who are donating some tree park sitting areas. And the IBEW, the electrical contractors, have just been phenomenal, taking care of all of our electrical needs on the project.
And Rainy Duquesne will get a donation deal in May for the Wishon Memorial Tree Walk that will run through the back hour behind the house.
Also want to say thank you to Rural First, who has been a big support of ours. We met them at a SEPA meeting again. SEPA's been incredible, and they are our Halls of Hope naming rights sponsor. So this was Easton, last day look at our groundbreaking, and so we got started last April on the project. SEMA, Bill Petty, Walker Kane, and the local union building trades have been amazing. So we're going to kind of take you through the construction real quick. But the local building trades, the local residential commercial contractor community, I think is the best on the planet. We have the best construction market on the planet. We work for a construction company, and that's a good competition to have. We live in a very blessed area with great contractors. The hardest part of the project, where's Mark over back? There we go, I see Mark back there. So the hardest part of the project by far was this site. It's full of trees, it had to be raised up probably what, Mark, 6, 7, 8 feet. So there's a lot of names on there, but we probably did $400,000 of land improvements for probably $40,000 because of all the volunteers you see up there. Too many to name, but this is certainly the hardest part of the project for me, and I'm so thankful to everybody out there. IMI, the concrete, I know the IMI teams here, they stepped up and have donated all the ready-mix concrete. They've been an incredible partner. Steve Hansel was just out there last week, and you would think it'd be enough that you would donate the concrete on a project like this. And last week, Steve's like, oh no, you need color decorated concrete there. So he's even making it harder on his own company. But we're so thankful to them. Edwards Concrete has been amazing. Bo has helped us pour concrete. Ed Regalat, and then Nick Classic is heading up the team of doing all the sidewalks. So we're just so grateful for everybody involved in the concrete. Dave Maddox is here with his wife. Dave's been a long-term supporter. He likes to rappel down buildings, and so does his wife. And they donate all the structural steel fabrication and erection. So we're so thankful to the Maddoxes. We had a dream team. We had Niehaus Lumber, Niehaus Construction, TSI Trusses out of Boonville, and they are all best in class at what they do. And we're so grateful for all of them sharing their time, talent, and treasure to get the building brand. Also, all the roofing on this project was donated. Materials and labor by everybody you see there. There's Mike Tressler, who got it all started. So we're so thankful for all those companies for the roofing. One of my favorite God moments was Pella. I drove over to Illinois to meet with the Pella head guy and was going to try to put on my sales pitch. And I didn't even get my handshake out of the way. And he's like, oh, we're in. We're donating all your doors and windows. So thankful to Pella. Pella's lot has been amazing. Sonitrol. So we're so thankful to those companies. Like I said, the union electricians are just taking over this project. There's a lot of electrical. And so, first and foremost, Capital Electric, who has led the way, they have done so much heavy lifting from the design to organizing all that. We are looking for a couple more electricians, so if you know a couple residential, commercial, or new local contractors stick with us, we can use a couple more. Jimmy Shipp and Mike Weber have just been absolute angels to us. The answer is always yes, no matter what we ask them, and they generously donated everything to do with the HVAC system, and Mike was also designing the plumbing, so we're so thankful for that. And these are all the companies that took care of our plumbing: Hebron, Allstock, Ferguson, J&Z, Wind Supply. All the plumbing's been donated in this building, and we're so thankful to that. This has been a cool project. We had a couple companies back out on us in the drywall last minute, another God moment, and within days, all these companies stepped forward and got the insulation, the drywall material taken care of. And it was just an incredible God moment to see that happen when we thought we were in trouble. So we're so thankful to all those companies. Same thing with Benthole Brothers, they've been amazing, donating all the siding, and those are the other companies that are going to help us get the siding installed. So we're so thankful to all those companies. We got the world's greatest stonemason, Randy Huffman out there with Tri-State Stone. We're so thankful to them. JBI came out and donated all the curves on the project. We're so thankful to Tim and Michael Stigler. They've been amazing. Church of Painting, Chad, where you at? You can see there's an American flag right there. Chad, I knew before I called him to say, brother, will you donate the paint? I know he was going to say. He was going to say yes, and he did. And then Brian Kinsler, where's Brian at? Same thing with Brian. I knew the answers would be. He donated all the painting material. So thankful to these giants. All the wood, trim, cabinets. Richard Brager over there, the Ryan looked a little weary today, but we're so thankful to all those companies, Greer's Flooring, Whitmer's Kitchen, True Custom Cabinets, Miller Hardwood, who stepped up and donated all the labor and times. Tim Weiser, right here. Love this guy. He's done landscaping in my house forever. He's probably made 20 trips to Evansville. He just retired. This is what he does in retirement, is designs landscaping on House of Hope. And he's pulled in other landscapers, and it's just going to be absolutely stunning. So Tim, we're so thankful for you sharing your time and talents with us. These are all the landscaping companies that have donated, thanks to Tim pulling these companies in. We are looking for a couple more landscaping companies, so if you know any, please let us know. Thank you, Tim. Brian helpers, there's about 20 helpers involved in this project. If you know more helpers, please put me in touch with them, because they always say yes and we're very generous. But Brian is donating our prayer garden. It is going to be incredible. Katie talked about the metal butterflies, the separation by design is going to build for the prayer garden. So thank you for grabbing this. Robbie, this guy is amazing. He is a young man who went to school with my kids, and he is so talented. And he designed and built a 3D castle. We're getting ready this weekend to start building his theater in the woods. This kid is incredibly gifted. He's got a heart of a lion. We're so thankful he's on board with this project, having his matches to it. Custom signs, Scott Uppers and his wife right here. Again, who donates a freaking digital sign? Well, Scott Uppers and his wife does. And custom sign engineering. Anytime we ask for a sign, he's like, yeah, I'm going to do that for you for free. So we're so thankful for them, for Scott and his wife and his team. The Cox crew, the Devons right here, and John Schrader, there's John right there. So they're going to do our Camp Hope, and that's going to be magical, so the kids can kind of have a camp event experience at House of Hope. So we're so thankful to the Cox crew, the Devons, John Schrader, and the Boyce Hanson. So we're so thankful for that group. Paul Green, where you got Paul, there he is. Paul's been an absolute lion in this project. Anytime I ask him, he's giving financially, he's giving his time, he makes calls, everything we ask him. And so he's sponsoring our kitchen, and then JD's Barnyard is going to provide all the ice cream for the rich kids in the House of Hope. So thankful to them. So, how are we doing on time, beloved? Time do we have? Okay. So this is just kind of a quick look. This is a short video that Martin Murray put together from our groundbreaking. Martin was probably swimming in his seat, seeing all that earthwork that's going on. That was a really tough situation. Tim, me, and Chad Clinton were amazing on this project. Horizon, Ed Bob did our foundations, they had the champion. Edwards for our concrete, Iodine one did our concrete. So this was, I guess, earlier this year in the spring. Maddox Industrial Contractors, Dave Maddox, his team out there fabricating the steel and setting steel. Niehaus Construction framing it. Chris Chapman and Bill Morgan doing the roofing. Ace doing the roofing. Those are some big pitch roofs. We wanted to make House of Hope magical. And with magical comes Mary C. roofs. So those people are earning their pay back in this. We're so thankful to that team. Enter. Then we got the Bank Pavilion. Here's Marvin and the Carpenters Union apprentices out there framing our Bank Pavilion. Niehaus Lumber was involved in that, Empire Contractors was involved in that, Triangle was involved in that, Ace was involved in that. And that's going to be a very special place for our mission animals, so they're so thankful for partners first and foremost. We are looking for a contractor to do the siding on that. It's a little bit of silence if you owe someone another stuff. So that's kind of the people where we are, very excited. Mark Murray wants to say Mark's another creative. Anytime you ask him for pictures, video, put together editing videos to help us upgrades, the answer is always yes. We're so thankful to have Mark Murray, time and talent on our team. And then here's a bunch of other companies. There's so many. I think there's over 200 companies involved in this project. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Amy Taylor, who's going to hopefully inspire you a little bit.
So the House of Hope is a mad place. We hope through the pictures, through the video, that you've seen how much it means to us and it means to the wish family which children that we serve. There's no better way to do that than hearing from one of our wish families about a recent wish. Nicole, when it comes on up, Nicole is the wish mom of Tara and our wish children, and she's going to tell you a little bit about a wish and what the reason that they had been the wish is. Years, so bear with me. And like she said, Nicole McDaniel, my son was together, and he had a heart condition. We found out at 18 weeks gestation. So we already know we were going into the development had a long road ahead of us. Was able to meet with Sandra and the team, and they asked him to let him have a nice hard time for help. And then I realized how strong universal will and had asked for help. But these pictures are amazing. What you won't understand is oh my Lord, Christine. It's it all. That is his superhero right there and grow up. And you guys, with your help, were able to make that for us. And I thank you so much. What you may not know is that Gift Physical World is where we stay while we're seeing Disney. And that is phenomenal myself. I never heard of Gift Physical World or what they did. But they are all volunteers that come and take their time to make our days special. From the time we wake up, we're asked to go to the ice cream shop and have ice cream for breakfast every single day. So when you see the House of Hope ice cream, it's not just ice cream for us. It brings those memories back. On how we had ice cream and equally was breakfast, and that's what was acceptable when Ken. Crazy. But without you guys, they can help this gift member package to do to be on this stage, thanking you for your help and make you this House of Hope somewhere that people can go and continue to go, because there are a lot of kids that don't get the opportunity to move to Gift Physical World. And so staying the House of Hope, be here in Evansville, Indiana, where our kids can go, it's just awe-inspiring and appreciated. Thank you so much. And Jen and I were able to go to the House of Hope, or Gift Physical World, where we're doing some research from the event. And it truly is an inspiring place. And our hope with the House of Hope was to have those memories, those times, those opportunities that our children are able just to be a kid and not to worry about treatments, not worry about hospital visits, not worry about all the struggles. They live with the parents. There's a lot of strengths through the process of being a sick child. And our whole witness is to help those families, not just to their wish, but when they come back, to have the opportunity to keep living that wish and to have a place to go with good memories, with good opportunities, and we can just continue throughout the way. Peace, Mr. Bowles. And also, as Chelsea could come up, Chelsea is a wish home, but Chelsea is also a huge supporter of various events learning for the past many years. She's at home regularly and through Over the Edge, and just been a great house stars, as a supporter, and she's mentioned what about the House of Hope and what that means for the families, for the use of it. Hello, thank you for everybody. Like she said, my name was Chelsea Funk. I'm mother to your Chase Funk and family. You can see from there, President Congo. At 2 years old, Chase was diagnosed with stage 1. It's a super rare condition. He's less than 1,300 people in the world diagnosed with it. His daily struggles are, mobility and behaviors and speech and just learning to tell. It's the rare. It's not even worked out before this, so it's your fault, just that. But we recently received our wish, and we chose a golf cart for Chase. He's always been into thrill rides, Ferris wheels, anything he knows, all the exciting stuff. So we really wanted something that he can use going forward than just sport equipment. Yeah, he's outgrown every ride on. Or having to have the mobility to steep over and maybe our famous lightning the park or full year on top of that. So we get to take him out and ride it sometimes twice a day on this golf cart. They still love it. What that goes me to with the golf cart is they can provide that on a regular basis to every child in our area, thanks to you guys now. We get to go to the House of Poet. I'm a stepson. We get to go there and talk to other families about the struggles that they may be having, and maybe another family is having the same issues we are, and we can talk to them about it all with neighbors. So it's not just about finding a safe place, it's also about ownership and being able to come together with other families who understand what we're going for. So the House of Poet is going to be a tremendous help in every family of our community. It's
And we also have, we've gone through tons of opportunities and ways that we've done this room as well, our community supported us. We also have other ways. Governor Melvin Jenny, who did lemonade stand the past weekend and raised over $1,000 for free house to funding. There's Irish Day next month, so we'll watch out for that one, how to program. There are so much ways that, whether it's through the time, money, effort, just love that they've done, they don't share, that we're able to grant these wishes. Two different wish bonds, different wishes, Disney, golf cart. A lot of this room, our families help with veteran redesigns, different opportunities. So every wish is unique as the child, and that's our purpose, is to serve every child, regardless of what our time and what opportunity they strong.
So that is our presentation, and it's not our presentation, it's our presentation, because this is what our community does. I want to ask you this: how many communities on planet Earth are doing what we're doing as a community? Pretty amazing. So we are so blessed. So our inspiration to you is whatever you're doing in your personal life, at work, helping a nonprofit, is think big. You can think big in this community, because this is a special community that can make big ideas happen. And also, all of you are giving your time, talent, and treasure, not because you have the time. You don't have the time. None of us have the time. We're all busy. You're all doing it because you have a big heart. So we just want to say thank you, celebrate our community, and just thank you for your time and support.
Thank you all.
Okay, we have time for a few questions if anybody wants to see your Jack. I think it's back much.
Hello, this is Friday with JV's partner, who's bringing. I just have a question for kids that do not have disabilities or health concerns. They won't have the brain house of both. I was just thinking, honestly, I don't have children of my own, but I was just thinking it'd be good for children that do not have disabilities to still use their brain. Kids that do. So that's a great question. So right now we're establishing how the program is looking like. It's sharing our branch members as work on a strategic plan process for how us both new humans open to programming. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. We love to have children get involved just because that integration, working alongside me is a big benefit for you. And how opportunities for volunteering, for being in different events throughout the year. So that's a great question. There will definitely have
We're of the built-out program, probably over the next few months before it opens. That's a great opportunity for children to come and volunteer and kind of be involved with those as well.
The other thing that we're doing is, this is a gift from our community to Granite. So this House of Hope won't be just for Granite Wish children and families. We're developing partnerships with Evansville Autism, Evansville Challenger League, other kids in the community who are at risk that could benefit from this facility. So, and thank you for your question, and thank you for the free ice cream also.
And so we're going to do an estimated grand opening date.
Oh, John Elpers isn't here, so I'm gonna tell you a lie. No, we are confident that the building itself will be able to open it up and welcome the Wish families in November. If you see John Elpers, I didn't tell you that. But with the playgrounds coming in November, but certainly by the end of the year, everything should be done. But great question, and I did not say that if you see John Elpers.
It is making a new change, so make sure to get it out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your page. I think I'll say that it's been very inspiring to hear. I'm sure if our reasons wishes on the wall, we're going to hold something and others. Did you share a memorable wish that you were able to help?
Sure. So my favorite story, we get through those months, every time, is one of our wish children is Cecilia. It was actually the first wish child I heard about when I became part of Created. She was wishes me right before I came on. Cecilia was struggling. She was Freaking wasn't talking, pricing. And whenever she was set for her wish to give kids the world to Disney, there were things in place because she did feel she would be coming home. By going to Disney, we all go to Disney. I've been to Disney twice this year. You think it's just fun when you ride in a magical place. But one thing I said earlier is whenever these children go on a wish, they're even actually children. They can relax, not worry about treatments and everything they have to deal with. And so the life of wish trip, she was able to go relax, enjoy being a kid. When she came back, her level kept increasing high enough to where she was able to start treatments again. And she went in transition, and she had repelled every year even over the edge. And so showing what, when she came into anything in life and the inspiration with that health-wise, and knowing that right now she is rappelling outside the building and being a spokesperson for Granted and just growing, maturing, and living every day just like the fullest, just frantic. It really gets a lot.
That was such a great question. There's so many. I'm sitting in my head going, thinking of 30 that was incredible. I don't think Jason Reeves is here. Jason, stand up here. I think he's busy studying. But Jason Reeves is my favorite wish story. So Jason has gone through like 60 brain surgeries. Wasn't supposed to be able to talk and have motor skills. And when he was a young kid, he developed a relationship with his brain surgeon, this one brain surgeon. And he told his mom at a young age, I'm going to grow up and be a brain surgeon. And Mom, you're going to be my nurse. So Jason, fast forward from that, who wasn't supposed to be able to have motor skills and communicate and talk, let alone become a brain surgeon. So Jason now has a free ride to UNIN, and he is studying to become a brain surgeon. His mom is finishing her nursing degree. She works at the old Chaser. She's getting her nursing degree to become his nurse. And, like that's not enough, Jason is on our board. So he is studying to go to medical school, and he's on our board, and he's one of our most active board members there is. So that's my number.